Hello, everyone. I'm Keeper Calvin, and we officially welcome everyone to the Keepers Club podcast. This virtual gathering that you see before you on your Zoom screen or YouTube screen allows us to have this great privilege to hold a Keepers Club podcast. And this club aims to keep young people like us away from negative activities such as smoking, drinking, doing drugs, and to help guide and uplift young adults like us, especially who are tuning in. Those who might be going through things like depression, loneliness, anxiety, or even suicidal thoughts. And we have the privilege to have keepers that are willing to join this week's recording to share the experiences on how to stay healthy, happy, and motivated. Because at the end of the day, that's really the goal of the club. For us keepers to share with others as one were to do with their very own brother or sister. And just like the club slogan, I am my brother's keeper. We will do whatever it takes to share the love that we experience individually and as a group. And we love to also thank the founding president of Keepers Club, who is none other than Pastor Apollo C. Kipiloy, for this opportunity to be a part of the Keepers Club International here in the United States of America, as well as this privilege and entrustment to have the Keepers Club Inspired podcast. So without further ado, let us all greet the keepers that have joined today, and may we all see your beautiful faces and greet our fellow keepers and say, I am my brother's keeper. So how's everyone? Happy New Year, by the way.
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Simon, Kendra.
Praise the Father.
Glad to see everyone else, by the way. But how are you there? How's your day?
Hello, everyone.
Good day, everybody. Hello
Hi.
again.
Hello.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hi,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2022.
All my brothers keepers.
Hey, so
Hello.
let's get started.
Happy New Year.
Okay, so how's your day, by the way, everyone? Simon, Kendra, Eric,
Good.
Sean.
Doing good.
Anthony. Everyone's all good? Oh. Okay.
Good.
Go, Sean. Alright, so let's get to this. Okay. So, as always, we have a disclaimer. Actually, let's share this one. Oh, thank you for your patience, by the way. Disclaimer, once again, as always, kindly avoid cursing or sharing anything traumatic. Please prevent anything that goes against our slogan, I am my brother's keeper. Remember to have fun, and that's all right. And approval for everyone. Thumbs up. Everyone's all good. Everyone's all ready for a awesome podcast. Let's claim it. All right, all good, everyone?
Yep.
All right, cheers. So, this is... Wait, start sharing. All right. Yes, 28 episodes. Wow. Woo. All right. So for Keepers Club history, thank you so much, by the way. Speaking up, Keepers Club International was first founded by Pastor Apollo C. Kipiloy and was first established in June 1986 in Davao City, Philippines. Since then, KCI spread all over the globe, with thousands of keepers nationwide. Worldwide, actually, and we would have jam sessions, coffee, and constructive small discussions. And KCI is not only in the Philippines, but other countries like in the United States of America, Canada, United Kingdom, Italy, Belgium, Spain, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and Singapore. So thank you once again for speaking up. Thank you so much. And for your patience always. Alright, so as an introduction, once again, we are the Keepers Club podcast. The Keepers Club podcast, and we are a podcast to help guide, encourage, and uplift the youth. We do this through Zoom. As you can see, we on YouTube is where we post our full episode. You can see your beautiful faces, and on Facebook where we take our group photos. We do this to every Tuesday, also 6 p.m. CST or 4 p.m. on California time, 7 p.m. New York time, right? And the reason we do so is truly I am my brother's keeper. We really treat all the keepers as once again our brother or sister, right? And we try to do this by gathering, bonding, sharing, dates, right? So we really have this privilege to not only be invited to Keepers Club, but to have this opportunity to really give back because someone once invited us to Keepers Club too, right? So we felt that belongingness, that brotherhood. So for those who might feel lonely or those who feel like they don't have anyone to talk to, those who don't have a platform like this where they can really share, their talents, they can really share their thoughts, they can really have brothers and sisters, even if they haven't met them yet, that they can really gather here in this podcast and to not only feel the keeper's love that we inspired, that we felt as well, but allowing us to once again always give back and to really prove our love and gratefulness toward Keepers Cup International. Right. So, for our experience, all of our topics relate to the struggles of being a youth, and we have the privilege to talk keepers all over the U.S. as well as some many keepers that we've never met before, those who are not in our respective states, but allowing us to tune in with just one click, right? And it's very humbling as well. So very humbling because truly I am my brother. We're able to gather and to once again give back, treat one another as a brother and sister. There's a lot of things in this world, right? Filled of hate, filled of putting people down, looking down on others. It's a lot of pride, right? So with this slide, we like to open the floor as well. Anyone who's going to share their experience on Keepers Cup International, how the podcast is treating you, why you joined, why you believe other keepers should do the same or join their Keepers Cup International in their respective states, country, continent, right? So any takers, we'd love to hear from you all. Let's go, Eric. Nice haircut, by the way, Rick.
Thank you, thank you. All right. So, just with my general experience with the podcast and Keepers Club International, as I've said before, it's really, really a nice podcast. And for myself, it's really benefited me, like personally, right? There's a lot of positivity here. There's no negativity. This thing, it'll uplift you. It'll really strengthen you. Because, sometimes life can be a struggle. And I know a lot of us know that very well. But with this podcast, it has really helped. Like, there have been discussions that have really helped me personally, like realize some stuff in my life, what I need to change, what I need to do. And it just really encourages you. It encourages you to keep on going, to stay strong and stay focused on your goal. And that's my experience with the podcast and generally Keepers Club International so far. So yeah.
Yes, thank you, Rick. Yes, and thank you for sharing. Likewise as well, to not only in the podcast but KCI as a whole. And good looking, by the way, with your haircut, Eric. So thank you for sharing. And anyone else, any takers? We'd love to see everyone, by the way. If you'd like to share your experience or really talk about why others should join the podcast, or especially Keepers Club overall as a whole. So anyone else? Maybe one more? Oh yes, go Anthony.
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah,
Kind of.
we can.
Hold on.
How about now? Can you hear me properly? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'll lower the music.
Okay. I just want to say, because I wasn't able to make it for the last episode, even though I wasn't able to make it, I'm still blessed because I was able to watch the the video in YouTube, and the answers are really what matters the most to me, and what really moves me in this podcast for Keepers Club. Not only because everyone that answers are young people, and also because that these young people, no matter we all don't know what they're going through or what we're going through, but throughout all of those struggles or challenging times, we get wisdom, and that wisdom is shared here in this podcast. That's why it's a podcast, right? Because we talk to each other about certain problems, and I really like the idea that we're talking about topics that aren't really talked about in school. So these are like side conversations, but made into a big topic because it's not really what people really talked about. And it's really a good way to highlight the struggles of the young people and the highlight of our strongest suites. So for the year 2023, I just really thank um, Keepers Club and its founding president, Apollo Kibuloy, for this privilege because um, it really helped me and my friends who were able to join. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, and thank you so much. Keep it Anthony. Drive safe, by the way. Appreciate the effort always. And I'm sure also KCI and Pastor is very happy for always your effort. You know, whether you're driving, whether you have finals, right? So go, Anthony. I'm gonna lower your hand. Any other takers, or shall we move on? Oh, go, Simon.
I just want to say another thing for the podcast, um, because this podcast and especially also Keepers Club, because you know some in school outside we always see and experience and witness sometimes negative things, and you know there's sometimes we don't have that ability to express ourselves. It's like a bottle that is closed, you know and we need to find that way to to express that energy, and this is one way we can spread the positivity and that positive energy um here in the podcast. That's why I am grateful and privileged that we have that I'm participating, and also all the young people here are participating in this podcast because we are at the same time giving each other discussions about certain topics that we as young people in this generation are problems that we face. And to the people who are watching here, we could learn something from that. We can learn something, those advices and those discussions um, that we can use in real life, and also I would like to think that um, that without Keepers Club, that there would be no example for the young people, because we're like the many young people here. We will show the light uh to those young people, especially those who need help with their anxiety, depression, problems at home, problems with personal problems, and um mental issues. And as Keepers Club, our slogan is to I am my brother or sister's keeper. And so I'm very grateful that to participate in this podcast, because we are showing the world that although there are many negative things outside, there's drugs, there's so much gaming addiction. The news is sometimes negative, but here in this podcast, it creates this positive atmosphere that we can vibe on, because sometimes we're always faced with so many negative events here in life. But um i I think that without this podcast we wouldn't have this positive vibe. So that's all I would like to say for this podcast, and thank you.
Yes, thank you, Simon. And you're very right as well. Thank you for sharing your experience, and we're very grateful as well. To have this opportunity to vibe, like you said, with all the other keepers here in the U.S. And without this, you know, maybe there's other people that wish they had like a platform like this. A podcast where they can really attend. So it's very humbling. Rather than seeing like, oh, we're important. No, it's like it's truly a privilege. So for this opportunity to give back and to do our part once again to give thanks to Keepers Cup International and our founding president, Pastor Apollo Sikibalon. All right, so let's move on. Thank you once again for everyone sharing. And that was our experience. It's very nice also hearing from second, third, fourth voice. Oh, I was unmuted. All right, so thank you once again for sharing. And then all the keepers who have shared, truly, just like you're saying, Simon, opportunity to give back and allowing us um, to really thank the founding president. So uh, I said a couple stuff also while I was muted, but let's just move on. So, all right, next for our icebreakers. So, the first one being two truths, one lie. Show us your stuff, and would you rather? Alrighty. So, first one being two truths, one lie. I'm going to start it off, but feel free to participate. If you want to say it or you want to go first, you wanted to type it out in the chat box. But we do this, right, to have a little fun and to get an atmosphere of all the keepers that have joined today, right? So, any takers, by the way, I'll copy and paste mine. But these are our three favorite icebreakers as of now. So subject to change. But anyone else want to go? Or all right, I'll go first really quick. Two truths, one lie, so detect the lie, right? So I'll do an example, right? First one being is the car two truths, one lie, so find the lie. The guitar that I use to perform in the podcast is not mine. The second one is I still can't find my podcast mic. And the third one is for New Year's, I ate shabu shabu, which is a Korean hot pot dish of thinly sliced meat and vegetables boiled in water and served with dipping sauces. So which one is the lie? The guitar isn't mine. I can't find the podcast mic, and I ate shabu shabu for New Year's.
I'm thinking one. I'm thinking one.
One? One?
One.
Which one was one? Simon, one?
Guitar. The guitar is yours. I think it's yours. Pretty sure.
All right, so that was an example, by the way.
Maybe one or three.
Is the shabu shabu. It's Korean.
Oh, I said.
It's Japanese. I said it's Korean, but it's actually Japanese. That's all I want to say. So, anyone else, by the way? You have a two truths, one lie. Are you a good liar? Not that we're encouraging it, but it's very fun though, right? Any other takers? Go, Eric. Yeah, go, Eric.
All right. So I guess for number one, it would be I live in an area that has a lot of traffic. Number two, I'm in 10th grade right now. And number three, I'm joining this podcast on a computer. So which one do you think? One, I live in traffic. Two, I'm in 10th grade. Three, I'm watching this on a computer. Any takers? See, one or two.
Good. I'm just saying no. One or two. I'll just say three then.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the answer. It's one. I don't live where I live. There's like no traffic. No, it's fine. I haven't waited in traffic for like my whole life, so that's a prick. But yeah, that's the lie. Awesome. Thank you for letting me go.
Yes, thank you, Eric. All right. Good one, by the way. Yeah, go Simon.
Okay, two truths and one lie. Okay. Number one, I love cooking. Number two, my favorite color is navy blue. Number three, we had shabu shabu in in a Christmas party.
That's three. He messed up.
Hold on.
3.
Sean
I'm just gonna go with
58.
Sean.
Well, you took. You know, I'll just say. Uh, nice one, by the way, Simon. I'll just say 2. Also, Sean, you typed in yours, but feel free to reveal the lie, Simon.
I don't like navy blue, I like light blue.
Ah,
Wait, the color one, right? Was 1 or 2?
he said he likes navy blue, and he said he likes light blue. No.
Hmm. And no, all good. Oh, wait a minute. Yes. Thank you, Simon, for sharing. Before we move on to
Thank
anyone
you.
else, can we give a shout out to Keeper Skylar? Hello, Skylar. By the way,
Hello,
didn't
welcome.
notice you came in, but can we just give a yes? Go, Skylar. All right, let's give a proper shout out. How's your New Year's, by the way, Skylar? Thank you so much for joining. Let's all give
My New Year's was good. Thank you for asking.
go, Skylar. Welcome to the podcast, by the way. Thank you so much for joining. But yes, Skylar, how's your day is going? Your day is going well so far, by the way.
Yes, sir. How is your day going?
Sure. Hey, you can just call me Calvin. But it's great. Thanks so much for asking. We're more curious about how your day was, New Year's. How your New Year's treated you well, Skylar?
Yes, it treated me very well. Very well.
For sure, yes. All right. Also love from Chicago, and also greetings from the Keepers Club podcast. So I think one more question for you just before we move on. Is this your first time?
Oh, yes, sir. This is my
It
first time.
is. Wow. Go, ma'am. But it's all good. We don't have to be formal here. But just know, feel free. We hope you really enjoy, and then we're very happy for you to join. So go, Keeper Skylar, and we hope you are excited and enjoy the podcast as much as us. So go, Skylar. Alrighty, let's continue. So, oh yeah, feel free if anyone else wants to do a 2 truths one lie before we move on to our discussion or next icebreaker. Anyone else? Feel free to type it too. Other than that, let's do show us your stuff. So this one's kind of like show and tell, right? But for example, show us your stuff. Let's do show us. Show us anything food or drink related. Okay. And then also no nice food or drinks, but I'm the only one sharing. Okay, how about show us your electronics? I'll participate though, in honor of the I don't know. Anyone else? Is anyone willing to share your smile podcast outfit? Any pets? Nice Nutella, by the way, Sean. Wait, can we see it again, Sean? I spotlighted you.
What?
You Nutella. There you go. Go, Sean. Thank you for participating, Sean. Alrighty. Hope the Nutella treats you.
This is what I found.
Oh, just sign it.
Cherry juice. It's
Wait,
cherry juice.
it's
It's
blurred.
kind of blurred.
Wait,
I think your juice glitched.
blurred. There's a apple. Great. All right, go Simon. Wait, careful by the way. Don't.
My juice is kind of blurred. It doesn't want to reveal itself. Oh, never mind. Here you go.
Alrighty.
That's all I could find.
Okay. Wait, and then anything else by the way? Are we all good? Thank you for showing by the way. Show us your stuff. Anyone have a pet or something that provides you with emotional support? Or anything else you're willing to share? We love to see your videos, by the way, have a very nice podcast, everyone. But other than that, maybe let's move on. Anyone else? All right. Let's do one last one. But all right. Would you rather? So, how about this one? It'd be nice to have at least one other participant, jumping in. All right. So, for example, would you rather be stuck in a home that has no power on for New Year's Eve, or one that has no food? So no power or
I
no.
can
Ready?
I can live without power.
Oh,
That's fine.
no food.
Number
All right, maybe I'm the only one with the power one, right?
I can live without power.
Yeah. Okay, Simon.
Yeah. No food, you're gonna starve.
Yeah, true. What
You're
about
not
for,
gonna celebrate New Year's without food.
but how are you gonna celebrate New Year's without power, right?
Oh,
I,
I mean, at least you have food, you have a house.
yeah. All right, how about this one? Sorry about the spaces, by the way. Thank you for your patience. How about this one? Would you rather wear a shirt tomorrow that lists everything you did over the holidays, or everything you ate over the holidays?
Everything I ate.
Everything you did, or everything you ate? I'm not ashamed. So 2, 1, 1, 2. How about you, Ate Kendra? Got Ate Kendra from the grass background. No 2. All right. How about this? Almost done with these. You're good. You're good, Sean. All right. How about this? Would you rather have snow on January 1st or a warm 80-degree day?
Snow.
Snow? Not 80?
No, I don't like hot that much. I mean, I like both, but I prefer cold on January.
Go Sean Snow. Hey Simon, thank you for
It's mostly cold in Virginia, like I
80.
think December to February. Mostly January and February is more cold here in Virginia.
Simon, I love your filter, by the way. It's nice. All right, how about
Thank
this?
you.
Would you rather have to say everything you are thinking, or never be able to speak on New Year's Day? Questions always relate also to our topic, so tune in, never be able to speak. 2, also, never be able to speak. Oh, yeah, same. Anyone else? How about you, Ate Kendra? Go Kendra from the New York Bridge. Got it. Hey, that's so cool of you to share, Skylar. Can express my actions without speaking. Oh, that's a nice take. All right, and what about one last one? Alrighty. So, would you rather live this past year over again or skip ahead 10 years? Two? Oh, for real, 2? 1? Hey, why you guys say that, by the way? Like, for me, I'm thinking it's like,
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because if I pick two, I don't know what happened 10 years later. So it's more like a surprise. It could be good. If it's number one, you can redo your choices. Like let's say you had to choose between ice cream or cake. But the first time you choose it was cake. Then you can go back and you eat ice cream. So you tried both choices.
Yeah. No good take, Simon. I think
I'm thinking it's kind of hard.
yeah, we like this question though too. It's like, are you more of like try to relive your or like try to better your mistakes, or like, or if you're like more futuristic? I don't know. It's like, our life is temporary, right? So it depends also if you wanna live it again or go, live in the future 10 years. But regardless,
Oh,
there you go, Sean.
I could even predict the future. Like I go back in the beginning of 2022, and like I say like before it happens, I'm gonna say, guys, you gotta stop doing this. You're gonna get sick. No.
Right? So, but other than that, go Skylar, go Simon, Sean. Thank you for participating. All right, hope you guys like those icebreakers, but feel free to recommend. No one recommends any icebreakers they enjoy or they hope to see. But once again, to have an opportunity to kind of feel the atmosphere of all the keepers that joined this episode. All right, so let's move on. So once again, this episode 28. Wow. And this one is titled New Year's Resolutions Part 2. So we actually had a Part 1, our very last episode of the year, which was last Tuesday, and we are continuing it, right? Because resolutions get broken, people don't make it, for example, right? People disregard it. So it's another opportunity to talk about New Year's resolutions. So some definitions. We always have to have. We always try to have like some kind of foundation, right, for all of our podcast slides. And something we want to talk about is resolution. The definition of resolution, which is the act or process of resolving a firm decision to do or not to do something, right? Also, an idea of the future, which is the word goal, an idea of the future or desired result that a person or a group of people envision, plan, and commit to achieve. All right, so we also have a list of most common New Year's resolutions. For example, lose weight, get organized, about quit smoking, procrastinate less, exercise more, save money, travel more, right? So we all have a New Year's resolution specific to us, but these are some of the commonalities of them. Right? Maybe you want to help others, maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to exercise, maybe you want to save money or spend money, right? All right. So, also, New Year's resolutions is a tradition in which a person resolves to continue good practices, change an undesired trait or behavior, accomplish a personal goal, or otherwise improve their behavior at the beginning of a calendar year. Also, New Year's resolutions, they are not often fulfilled, but most people blame their failures to fulfill resolutions on a lack of time, resources, or a loss of motivation after starting. And New Year's resolutions, a lot of us have abandoned our resolve and settled back into our old patterns. Some of it, we didn't include it in the slide, but we looked it up, and sometimes it's like within like March, or sometimes in a month, in a week, sometimes within like not even a day. So we have this opportunity to really talk about it. What a perfect opportunity to talk about it. The first episode of the year, right? So, for our official episode 28 question, what would you most like to change about yourself? What is one change you can make to your lifestyle that would give you more peace? And what advice would you like to give yourself as you begin this year? So, of course, we want everyone to be comfortable. You don't have to share exactly like what you want to change about yourself, but it's something to think about. Through this podcast, we really self-reflect, and also for anything that you're willing to share, it's really just an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to express yourself, right? And through this podcast, through Keepers Club International, we really strive to be productive members of society. To continue to encourage one another to strive to be better, right? To better themselves. And, it's there's a lot of times New Year's resolutions. They're really we they really there's always people to or New Year's resolutions. There's a lot of jokes being made, right? Just like in this slide, New Year, New Me. You know, posting on their Facebook status, Instagram. But if you be optimistic, right? It's a way to restart. It's a way to just really reflect and to think you have a goal, right? Or have a resolution of how you want to better yourself this year compared to the previous year. For our discussion time, just remember that there are no wrong answers. We'd love to hear your thoughts about New Year's resolutions. And of course, participation is highly encouraged. We are Keepers Club Podcast, so feel free to jump in, no matter if it's at least once or, if you want to jump in as 10, 20 times. But the more the merrier. And we encourage everyone to share, ideally at least once, right? Why not? Other than that, who would like to start it off? I'm willing to jump in, of course, but we're more, what's it called? We're more curious of what the keepers from all over the U.S. would like to share, right? So that being said, take it away, Keeper Anthony. Go, Keeper Anthony.
Can you put the question back again, please?
Oh yeah, sure. I too have to copy and paste that.
Okay.
But yes,
I already but I forgot the question.
all of it. Okay. Come in. Done. Here you go, Anthony. Well, for everyone else, once again, would you? Oh, wait, a second. Is this it? Okay. So, are you safe, by the way, Anthony?
I'm just waiting for the question.
Yes, I also too. We don't encourage people to try. Well, no. Okay, how about this? Once again, it is, what would you most like to change about yourself? What is one change you could make to your lifestyle that would give you more peace? And what advice would you like to give yourself as you begin the new year?
Okay.
Anthony.
I want to answer the first and the third. And first one said, what would you like? Well, what I would like to change, have just your happiness and like that, right? No matter who you are, you're having a smile from a face goes a long way. And I try to do that because we can make life sad, we can make life full of hate, but I want to make mine full of just happiness throughout the day, that not my moods don't change from an hour. Like in the morning I'm really like lame or timid, then in the afternoon I want to start a day where it's emanating from me, right? And I hope that I can share that with my fellow classmates and friends here. And that's one of the things that I want to change, because positivity or a smile attracts positivity, and I want more positive in my life. And then on the third one, what advice would you like to give yourself as you begin the new year? Well, there's we can give a lot of advice to our old self, but for me, even though we've already started 3 days already, I want to give myself the advice that whenever you're whenever okay, let's say whenever I'm having a difficult time of making a decision, and I know that sometimes it's either for the right or for the better or for the worse, just reflect on how that same decision affected me, because sometimes I go through the same thing, and sometimes I make the same decisions, but sometimes I also choose not to make the same decision. And that's one thing that I need to work on, and that I would advise myself in the future in a couple of minutes, that whenever you're feeling that you're in that same situation or same loop, try to think of what other people would do, someone that you really admire or look up to, and WWTPD, what would this person do? That's one of the funniest but um, effective way to go about my day. What would this person do, or what would their name do? So yeah, that's my advice for myself. But I also want to give advice to the young people here in the podcast. I know it's fresh. We're freshly off of 2022, and there's a lot of that happened in the year 2022. But that's all in the past now, right? So we can't keep living in the past. So live in the moment, and whatever happened in the past stays in the past. And this 2023, it really depends on us and how we make it to be right. So we can make it happy, we can make it angry, we can make it resentful, or we can make it just purely reflecting of the past. But is that really how you want to live your life, right? So learn to forgive and forget, and learn to love one another, because truly love is the most powerful weapon that you can ever have, because that's our main, besides the evil nature in man, we also have that nature, that that nature of love, because we care to love dogs, we care to love plants, trees, but we can also learn to love each other, even though we're just strangers, even though we haven't known each other for many years to be called friends. But when you spread positivity in this world, it will come back to you one way or another. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this one. Maybe I'll add on later, but thank you guys.
Yes, Anthony. Theme. I'm going to add also, but we want to hear more other keepers. And thank you for sharing, Anthony, being the first one. And you're very right. Wow, why be resentful? Why live in the past? It is easier said than done, but so it's really a choice, right? To just live another day rather than beat yourself up from your past, right? So thank you, Anthony. And who's next? Who else would like to share? Maybe you'd like to reflect or answer any of the questions. Thank you, everyone. Also, the other keeper is showing the video, by the way. Yes, but once again, anyone else would you like to answer? Oh yes, go Simon.
So, uh, the, every New Year's resolution, it's usually how you want to plan for the start of the new year. And for me, because one of the main events in Keepers Club is International Youth Congress, and it's a privilege uh to be able to join. And from now, I think because IYC International Youth Congress starts in April, so one of my New Year's resolutions is to prepare, and also to get ready for our upcoming International Youth Congress, or IYC, because it's also a time where we can learn and also make bonds with other YPs around the world, because this is a youth gathering. And you know it's one thing that I'm also excited of, because many months passed and we're now in January. So if you count it, it's January, February, March, April. So we got like about 3 months left until it's April, and we have IYC. So one of my New Year's resolutions is to get ready for IYC, so that you know can't wait to meet you all there, for those who are coming. And that's one of my New Year's resolutions. Thank you.
Yes, Simon. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. And then, right, even though it's New Year, it's nice to have something to look forward to, right? So go, Simon, all the keepers as well who will be going to this IYC event, and we're very excited for you guys to join. So, or to really see that you guys will be going, right? So, thank you, Simon, and then go Simon from IYC. Anyone else? Also, regards, Keeper Josh. Thank you for joining. Anyone else? Would you like to answer? Maybe share your thoughts. Share your share your what you can say about our podcast, any of the questions, anything you've learned, anything that resonated with you.
Keeper Cal.
Oh, hey, go Josh.
What's the topic question?
Oh yes. I'll type it again for you. Nice seeing you, by the way, Josh. How's your day, by the way? Here we go.
It's been alright. We've been doing fundraising, I guess.
Oh yes, Josh.
So, what would you most like to change about yourself?
So yes, Josh.
So, like, advice I would like to give myself as we begin the new year. So, basically, like, a resolution. Oh, um, basically, I would advise myself to like learn as much as possible because I've done like I haven't done much of that, or at least tried to do much of that in the past years. And but like this year is a bit different, and it's like inspired me to, you know, learn more. Because if you stop learning, you'll eventually like stop living, I guess. I mean, you have to keep learning in life to, improve yourself and do all kinds of things. Because what's the fun of doing something over and over again and like doing the same thing with no changes, right?
Wow. Very nice, Josh. Thank you for sharing. Wow, that was nice though. Oh yes, I'll add more to you, Josh. But for any keepers, so they don't forget their thoughts, would you like to share? I see a hand, by the way. Goalkeeper Skyler.
I think one thing that I want us all to remember in the year 2023 is self-care, because most of us get caught up in other things that we're doing and we just forget to take care of ourselves. And I'm one of those people where I like to put everybody else before me and overwork myself for the happiness of others. So I think it's really important for this year to do a lot of self-care.
Yes. Wow.
Wow.
Boy, thank you by the way for your patience. I do make sure everything sounds all right, and then sometimes the echo. But Keeper Skyler, nice hearing you. Thank you for sharing. And you're very right. Self care. Sometimes it's like I feel you also, right? It's like sometimes we're too nice, right? We always put others before our own needs. We tend to forget about taking care of ourselves, whether it being our health, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? So goalkeeper Skyler, taking care of yourself or even putting other people before you. But go Skyler also, prioritizing yourself, right? So thank you for sharing, Keeper Skyler. Would anyone like to jump in? Maybe elaborate. That's a very nice thought actually. So what about resolutions in terms of, health or things we tend to forget, right, for this coming year? Anyone? How about Keeper Isaac? Keeper Sean, Keeper Kendra. Right. If you join, right? Why not? Why not share? And then we love to hear your reflection. That was very nice what Keeper Sky was saying. So,
Uh,
oh yeah, go Josh.
uh, so I would like to like add on. So like about self care this year. I mean, for me, it's been like the whole for a couple months now. But maybe like I'll do better this year. It's like generally exercising or working out. Bettering myself. Um, because I guess it's related. I mean, it's something that I've been trying to do, and maybe like I'll get motivated because it's like a new year, new me, and also I mean maybe like a lot of people that does that too, like they try to better themselves. I'll stop procrastinating this year, or I won't be as lazy this year. I'll do work, but like I don't know, it's up to them, I guess. But I think that's a pretty common goal for New Year's resolution. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Josh. You're right. Talking about it, I see your point. It's like really like it's like up to us, right? Like a freedom of choice. And um, I just want to add too. That's very nice that you added Skylar because even like a little example, it's like I even like I know for me also too. Like I would try to like prioritize my priorities more or like my responsibilities that were entrusted to me. But there's times where I prioritized it even over my health, right? So and then that took like a bad turn, right? But to make it short and sweet, I learned through that. You just continue to you really have to um, remember at the end of the day that we're in charge of our own bodies, right? We're in charge of our own health. No one's really gonna not there's not always all the time that someone's gonna really make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. That someone's gonna um, really inspire us or push us to make sure that we're healthy in the mind, the body, spirit, right? So um, at the end of the day too, it's whether we're willing to take care of ourselves so we can be used even more, right? Whether it being in school, whether it being in our career or our responsibilities. Maybe you have a great privilege or you have a big role in whatever it is, right? And if you don't take care of yourself, how can you be used? So you know um, anyone else, by the way, while I organize my thoughts, if you'd like to jump in a second time, or of course, we love to hear everyone share at least once. But if you want to talk about health or another interpretation of our question for our New Year's resolutions, anyone? Go, Simon.
Um, I would like to add on to the discussion because you know um because every New Year's we make resolutions for ourselves, and sometimes we make goals, but we don't have the sometimes we abandon it or start procrastinating because we we sometimes lose the motivation to fulfill these goals, whether it be losing weight or learning a new instrument or learning a new language. And sometimes, you have many other things to do, like work, school, uh, final exams, tests, and all these other things that you are doing. And you know, me as well, because I sometimes make goals, but then I sometimes lose interest, or sometimes just abandon these goals. And there's always another year to fulfill them, but sometimes sometimes we have to learn that to not be lazy sometimes, and to not procrastinate, because you know because it's better to take the chance now than later, because that might be your only chance, because second chances don't always come freely. It's not always served in a silver platter to us. Success does not uh come to us like it just flew from the sky. It started raining. It just rained down from the sky. Sometimes we have to put our work, our effort on it. And all of us have flaws, but you know if you really put your mind and your determination, especially this year now, because it's fresh, it's the start of a new year. It's like farming. You plant those seeds. Let's say you want to plant corn, and you put those seeds, because farming takes a lot of patience, determination, love, because you want to your goal is to grow a lot of corn. So you know first you put the seeds down, and then you put the seeds on your farmland, and then you grow and take care of it, and then little by little, day by day, you start seeing the corn grow from the little sapling until it grows and grows until you have corn. You see that story? Because um you know that you have you ever felt that feeling of success, that hard work you put on it? It could be any goal, like losing weight. Okay, your first month, you have this target goal, whether it be losing 2 pounds in 1 week. So let's say you want to lose 2 pounds in 1 week. You set that goals. Your thoughts and your planning is like planting the seeds on the ground, and your effort and love that you put to it, it starts growing. You see this success start evolving, start manifesting. you know and then as days go by, months go by, and then you start to see that success of your goal, and you got that feeling that you're proud of yourself. Sometimes we may not be able to, you know, um, fulfill certain goals and resolutions, like your New Year's resolution from 2022 last year. You weren't able to fulfill that, but this year, since it's fresh, now you can start planting those seeds, your thoughts, or your goals. I don't really call them goals. I call it missions, objectives. Because you have, if you, if, if you call those missions and objectives, you have that one mind set on those particular goals, whether it be big or small. Start if you want to learn how to fulfill goals in your life. Start with the small ones, small success, and until you build up to those big goals, those major goals in life, because you level up. Life is a game, but we only have one life, one chance, because we can average lifespan of a human being is 70 years. If you live 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, those are bonus years. You know, God gave you those years. And, you only have 70 years. So that's 70 New Years. That's 70 New Year's resolutions, 70 chances. That's why if we keep delaying those goals, you start putting yourself down. You're always blaming other things, time, you lack motivation, but it's on you. your action, your thoughts, your goals, and all those planning is your input. The output is what you put your effort, your time, your sacrifice. Sometimes we have to make sacrifices just to achieve those goals, you know? And this year is a new year, so if you want to learn how to achieve those goals in life, start out small from level 1. Those level 1 goals until you reach level 2, then level 5, level 10, level 20, up to level 100. It's infinite. You can think of any goal. Just start out small, then go all the way up to the top. And maybe 10 years from now, you look at what you achieve. You see that um that seeds you planted in in that seed you planted on day 1, on level 1. Now 10 years from now, look what you have done. You've achieved something, right? You could be proud of yourself, because life, we cannot always be living under a rock. We cannot be always living in the cave. We cannot be always living under a rock like Patrick. You know, sometimes if you watch SpongeBob, Patrick living under a rock. We can always live under that rock. We cannot always live in darkness. We have to open that door. We have to open that door to our goals. The key is yourself. You have a choice whether to open that door or to leave it closed. And we only have 70 years to do it on average. That's why in this year's New Year resolution, if you wanna start achieving now, start with the small goals, then move all the way up. That's all I want to say for this topic, and thank you.
Nice one, Simon. Very nice response, Simon. Thank you for thank you for sharing, Simon. And yeah, go Simon. By the way, let me jump in though, right? Just like you're saying, Simon. Right? It's very nice when you feel like you accomplished something, not only a New Year's resolution, but something that you've been working toward, right? Because it was your choice, and you were consistent, you were disciplined. But it's another topic we talk about, right, in the Keepers podcast, and also in terms of like health, right? You guys were talking about. We had a nice discussion last week. Like the guys especially, they're talking about working out, doing push-ups as a resolution, and then also Keeper Skylar mentioned taking care of your health, so or taking care of yourself, right? So it doesn't mean, when I thought about it, when you take care of yourself, that doesn't mean you're going to be a bad guy. That doesn't mean you're not going to share anymore. You're not going to work, or you're not going to contribute to the well-being of others. No, it just really means prioritizing, also that really reflecting and realizing that you're a priority also, right? And it also depends how you're willing to take care of your health, right? Is it, for example, this internet age, how are you going to take care of is it healthy, for example, if you always engage yourself in, the internet, in scrolling through TikTok for hours, or, really comparing yourself to people you see on Instagram, or making sure you have like a nice Facebook story, a nice Facebook status, you put like posts like, look where I'm at, not you guys, right? Is that healthy? Or is it like, can you do it in like moderation? And something I want to add, even like, I've had a friend who was like that, who's like a friend who's always giving, he's always putting other people before himself. But at the end of the day, I knew him as my best friend, and I would see that there's times where he's almost miserable because he's always giving. He's not taking care of himself. There's things that he's not doing for himself to really recharge, right? So you can think of it also as an opportunity to give back to yourself, right? That doesn't mean also you have an opportunity to give back even more to your family, your friends, people around you. And how about or to specific friends, right? And how about how about giving back to God, the man upstairs, right? You don't even have to. You don't have to. You really. We're not even saying. I'm not even saying like you have to engage in deep prayer. You got to do prayer and fasting or something. You got to do. You have to really live like sacrifice so much. No. How about just thinking. Not only the people around you, but also the one upstairs. Like when you wake up, look like wow, I lived another day, right? There's a roof. I get to eat food. I have people that love me. I'm safe, right? Or I get to wake up with a purpose, right? That's also, even if you don't know how to prioritize yourself to give back to yourself, what about giving back to the people that's watching over and blessing you the whole time? Another thing I want to add, right? Um, like you guys are talking about losing weight, working out, betting yourself, right? That's awesome to hear. Taking care of yourself, lifting, being healthy physically. How about also mentally, spiritually? You know, be careful of the things you listen to. Whether it be in music, whether it be in the people you listen, the people you really look up to on the internet, right? So, with that being said, can you guys kind of understand where I'm going? Does anyone want to elaborate? New Year's resolutions part two. Hi, also by the way, Keeper Gab. Nice seeing you join. And also, oh yes, Keeper Josh.
Oh, no, yeah. So, I just wanna say something about the metaphors of Keeper Simon. Especially the growing corn one. You're not gonna be able to see the fruits of your labor if you don't put determination or anything else in it. So let's say on your New Year's resolution goal, you like, let's say you wanna learn like a new instrument. You're gonna, like Keeper Simon said, you need determination, you need patience, you're gonna need effort into like this. You're gonna need to you're gonna need to do research for like your resolution. You need a lot of stuff basically. You need to put in effort, and also you need to work hard and a lot of patience like along the way, because if you just stop, so let's say, because most New Year's resolutions don't actually like make it till the second month, I guess. I've done that before. Like I've made like a New Year's resolution and then I just completely forget about it the next day, or maybe a week for some people, or a month. But still, some people just forget about their resolutions because you know there's no determination. There's not really any like effort into that goal that you've made. And so you're gonna need to really want to accomplish this goal if you want to. Well, wait, let me say, how do I say this? Like,
So Josh,
basically you're gonna want to accomplish this goal with a lot of determination. It's not gonna take, oh, I want this, so I'm gonna work for it for a couple of days, and if nothing happens, then I quit. No, it's not like that. You're gonna need patience because like the analogy, you need to wait for the corn to grow to see the fruits of your labor. So you're also gonna need stuff. You're gonna need to do a lot of work. You're gonna need to water the plants, water the corn, put fertilizer on it, talk to it, I guess. But basically, you need to do a lot of stuff just to see that you are making progress. And if you don't see it, just wait for it. If you even if you don't see it right now, or like um, for the progress you've made, even if you don't see it, just be patient because it's gonna take a lot of time. Depending, well, it really depends on what goal you have, but really, patience is the key.
Yes, Josh. Yes, thank you for sharing. Josh, actually, do you have anything else you want to say, Josh?
I lost like my train of thought. I was gonna say something about um
Check
like
your
working
messages.
hard isn't. Yes. Yeah.
Uh, just check your messages. All right, but Gav,
Oh.
you share. I'll call it. Go, Gav.
Hello everyone. So I'm assuming we're on the topics of New Year's resolution, right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so all right. So to be honest, I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions just because you know how often they fail. But I feel like New Year's resolutions are like when you want them to happen. Because New Year's resolution is like changing yourself for the better, right? Like stopping a bad habit or starting something new, doing something good. But I feel like New Year's resolution on like after a new year starts, it's like there's it's just like words, I guess. The real like what Josh said, you need to have the real determination, and that can happen any time of the year. And it's up to you when you decide when you want to have your New Year's resolution, and that can take place anytime. But it matters up to your determination and your self discipline, which is something we've talked about in our past episodes. So, um, but yeah, for any New Year's resolution, anything you want to get started, whether it be fitness or you want to like quit something that's not good for you, you know, determination, self-discipline, you have to always remember to take baby steps because you can't just dive into a deep pool. That's like what New Year's resolutions thinks you or tricks you into doing is like dive deep into this whole change when in fact it really takes time and it really takes baby steps to make a habit, which is like 48 days 48 days to be in a habit, 48 days to remove a habit. So you have to take baby steps. So yeah, that's it from me for now.
Also, I want to add, right, Sensei, thank you. That reminded me, baby steps, because New Year's resolutions really put you into a mindset that like you're gonna work really hard to like in this for this real like goal that you've set for yourself for the first like for this year, and then you're gonna work real hard for like the first week or the first month, and then you like depending on the goal. Again, I've said this, you're not gonna see immediate like what's the word
Results.
you're not gonna see immediate results from just working that much on the first couple of days or weeks, and it really takes time, baby steps too. You gotta take it slow. You have a whole year, right? Maybe hopefully you have more than a year. Anyway, Also, I just want to shout out Keeper Rihanna. Thank you for joining.
Yes, you're very right. Hi Ray. Nice seeing you. Happy New Year, by the way. Welcome to the podcast. I'm the only one on video, but go away. Woo! Always nice seeing you for real. Thank you for letting us know. Josh, yeah, she's here. So, Goalkeeper Ray, hope the year treats you well. Thank you for joining, and hope the podcast is treating you well. Also, still Keeper Skyler, feel free to jump in. Anyone else, by the way, final thoughts before we come to a close, before it gets too late? Yes, go, Anthony.
Oh, I just want to address what I said on the chat. I said actions speak louder than words, and I really think that whenever you're nearing the end of something, that's when we're really motivated to do what we want to accomplish. Something that I base my judgment on. Really, whenever something is about to end, that's when we really feel motivated to do something grand, big. That's why we make these New Year's resolutions right towards the end of the year. Why? Because we want to do better for ourselves, because this new year we're always trying to reinvent ourselves for the coming year. And I don't know if that's also true for all of you guys, but for me, like, it's always about reinventing myself from my previous self of the year, because there's a lot of changes that needs to happen for each and every one of us, me included, because we're not perfect. We have our flaws, and that's what we try to perfect, or that's what we try to change. So that's why we make this resolution. But like you guys said, our resolution don't typically normally last, within the next day, within the next week or months. Um, it depends on your drive. Like I think Gab or Keeper Gab said, we can have motivation any time of the year.
You good, Anthony? You
Still?
muted. Don't.
Can you hear me still? Yeah. So I was
Or
saying, like Keeper Gab said,
test.
can you
Okay,
hear me?
I'll
Hello? Okay. So yeah, like Keeper Gab said, motivation can
Anthony.
come any time of the year. And usually that, like I said, that's
Test.
the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Go, Anthony.
Yeah, like that's mostly towards the year, towards the end of the year. And even though motivation can come anytime in our lives within the year, you can still make your own motivation. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to come from an outside source, but you can make it within yourself. You can just imagine the happiness, the joy that accomplishing that goal, or that that goal that you set for yourself. That could be a motivation enough for you to keep on doing what your New Year's resolution is. But like we all said, sometimes it's hard because we usually tend to make a big resolution. That's why we never get to do it. But take it little by little, slowly but surely it will change. You will change, right? Because change doesn't happen overnight. A plant doesn't grow overnight. It changes over time. So it's usually I don't really see like the relation of this quote, but you guys can just add it to yourself. Quality over quantity. So you can change yourself how many times, but will your quality still be good enough for what you're trying to meet, right? So your quality is what you want to be. Do you want to be the best version of yourself, the 80% version of yourself, or the 50, or even lower? You don't want to be the 100%. So our quality matters over the quantity, or how many times we try to change ourselves because quality it's not perfection per se, but it's something that we achieve or strive to be. So as young people, we have our challenges with our parents, with our friends, school, job. All of those are factors of continuing your motivation, but it's really up to you. I don't know who said it, but we have a freedom of choice. So you can always choose to finish, pause, or keep running. Or like you're in a marathon from the beginning of the year to the end. You're running a race, so you can get tired, but you can jog, right? Or you can stop and rest. But sometimes when we rest, we don't get ourselves back up right away. But yeah, just for young people to young people, enjoy it though, because you might be having a hard time in finishing your goal, but you gotta know that you also have to enjoy it because it's part of your life too, right? It's part of your journey for the year 2023. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And also, I just want to give a shout out to Keeper Skylar because I invited her. She's my friend from school, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Anthony. And yes, shout out Keeper Skyler once again. And yeah, nice when Anthony responds, and Anthony always sharing, inviting. Right, so if I may add as a last thought, um, you're very right, Anthony. Right, quality over quantity. And something I want to add is something that that's something I wanted to change also, right? Especially relating to this podcast. Especially in the very beginning, there's times where it's like, wow, there's only gonna be like less than 5 people joining the podcast, right? But over time, it seems like there's like a good amount, whether it be in like 5, 10, 15. But no matter how many people that join, it's really the quality over the quantity, right? Sometimes the discussion that we have is very memorable, we're able to learn from it, and we're able to really cherish it with just like 5 people compared to like 30 keepers, and then that they don't really respond, they don't really share, right? So not only in the podcast, in anything, whether it be in school, whether it be in your responsibility, your job, your something that you really engage yourself in, right? And I mentioned this also last podcast because we talked about New Year's, but just know that New Year's, it's like a new start. It's an opportunity to really reflect and to change. And it's a choice to better yourself. And at the same time, it's also a choice to ignore what you should do. It's a choice to ignore how to better yourself, or to really execute on how to grow, etc. Right? So something in this podcast where we'll continue to always try to do better and better each episode. Everything, whether it's our material, whether it's inviting, whether it's in the music we choose, the production, the sounds. So we thank you always for your patience, and it's something that we're always just we can choose to walk the walk, right? Or we can just choose to ignore, be like, you know what, like whatever happens, happens. No, we want to give back. We want to strive for excellence. It's another topic we've talked about, and we like to think and we like to hope that all the keepers, whether you're new, whether you're returning, whether you continue to join, and that's how we know you through the podcast, or if you've been in Keepers Club for a while, we encourage you to keep it up, right? To keep joining Keepers Club activities, right? We're like the light and salt of the earth, right? Because compared to other, adults or young people in the world, they really value what? Things like what? Doing drugs, or engage, and really valuing, really looking up toward people who use others for, like lust, right? Or they really value, popularity, fame, riches, right? But for in a podcast like this, Keepers Club, we don't care about any of that, right? We see that you're a keeper just like us, and if you need a brother or sister to talk to, or you want to have the opportunity where you can share, you can really be productive members of society, right? And to continue to really not only learn, but to share your blessings as well here in this podcast and Keepers Cup International. So we encourage you to always join, to invite, not only in the podcast, but in your respective Keepers Cup International. So we really hope that you enjoyed. We really hope that you continue to reach out to those who invited you. And you never know, they might have activities not only virtually, but in person. And something too that um, that inspired me and got me attracted to Keepers Club is music. So I was able to really to have brothers and sisters. You can say that I even it's such a privilege to not only know, but we jam out, we perform. Maybe you have a gift for playing keyboard or singing or guitar, or like who doesn't like karaoke, right? So feel free to join. We have youth activities, youth gatherings in person. Feel free to reach out to them. We especially for the New Year's, right? So, thank you for everyone that joined. Any last thoughts, by the way, for anyone who wants to have a closing thought before we move on to our shout out portion?
I think your last speech is a great way to end this podcast because it really sums up everything from our past podcasts and our topic part of our topic, self-improvement for our New Year's resolution. And that's my last thought.
All right, so I'll, thank you, Keeper Josh. All right, and then and yes, sir. Exactly, Josh. And word of the day, self-improvement. So let's move on. And if anything, right, why wait a whole year to better yourself, to change, when you can do it tomorrow? You can do it tonight. So, or yes, let's move on to our shout out portion. So, once again, shout out to all of the returning keepers. Go, 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 keeper Gab, Kendra, Rihanna, and Anthony, Josh, Copy, Isaac, Isaiah, Gab, Kendra, Rihanna, Simon, Skylar, Keeper USA. Also, keepers tuning into this episode, Keepers Cup International. Hopefully you can see, of course, how much we really cherish and love Keepers Club, and especially President of Keepers Club. So thank you, Pastor, and any others. Feel free to give a shout out. Anything that you really admired or anything that you really just want to acknowledge. At least one more. Anyone got a shout out?
I would
I
like
want to give
to
a shout out.
Yeah, go.
Oh, wait, Kathy.
Well, shout out to Josh, Anati Kendra, and Simon, and Skylar, and Rihanna, and everybody in this podcast. This is a really great way to start our New Year's podcast for our first episode of the year. So it's really great seeing everybody.
Yes, sir. Go, Anthony. Who else?
I want to give a
shout
shout out
out.
to I want to give a shout out to this new year, 2023, for
Go,
hope
Josh.
that it'd be better than the last year, or at least better than 2020.
Yes. Good looking, Josh. Be safe, by the way. Nice hearing you, by
I'd
the way.
like to give a shout out.
Actually, there's a hand before we try to remember your thoughts, but go, Skylar.
I'd like to give a shout out to Anthony because that's like my senior guide at school. He's just been really taking care of me the whole time we've been at school. And I really appreciate that. And I want to continue in 2023 with Anthony because he's just my favorite.
Wow.
We're gonna say
Round
that.
of applause, everybody.
Nice being your mentor in high school. Hope you enjoyed this podcast and join many more.
I would like to give one more shout out to everybody because this new year is fresh. Everything feels fresh and green. So shout out to everybody, especially those who have goals and resolutions. It doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution. You can start now. You can start anytime, just as long as you're ready, determined, and you are ready to, face through this new year and the goals that you have prepared for yourself and to the near future or future. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go Simon.
Oh, thank you, good count. I'd like to give a shout out as well to all the keepers here who just joined. Welcome to the first episode of 2023. Continue to join the podcast, and we hope everyone here has a good time and learns something new every episode. So that's it from me. Shout out to all of you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Keeper Gang. Go Kuya. Anyone else? Let's all give a shout out. It's nice. It's a tradition, actually. Like, everyone, give a shout out every episode. And anyone, how about you, Ate Kendra? Be nice to hear you. Okay.
Shout out to everyone this podcast and happy new year. First year.
Feliz Año Nuevo. Well, late Feliz Año Nuevo.
Alrighty. So, of course, go Josh.
I want to give a shout out to our host, Keeper Calvin, for hosting the very first podcast of the year.
So you don't gotta do that. Thank you, Keeper Josh. But if anything, right, we all know who to give the real shout out to, which is Keepers Club. Thank you to our founding president. And if anything, shout out to all of you guys. You could have done anything else in the world at this moment, but you guys chose to join the podcast. So thank you for always collaborating, making it work, and we continue to, it's the least we can do, right? So if you ever want to give thanks, continue to join, reach out to your Keepers Club once again, and continue to be the light and salt of your respective Keepers Club there. So also once again, shout out Keeper Ray, always joining, Keeper Skyler. that was really sweet of you too, to give a shout out to Anthony. So love from the podcast, love from Chicago, Skyler and Rihanna. Also Keeper USA, Keeper Isaac, Isaiah, Copy. Yeah, so all right, that was awesome. Let's keep doing that. Everyone always just gives a shout out. Give the credit where it's due. You just want to show some love, right? But anyone else? All right, let's move on. So once again, those are shots. Very nice. It's very memorable. And so thank you for sharing. Any others? Any other show us your talent, by the way? Go Simon.
Oh well, so uh I'll just sing. So for today's talent show, so I was saying when the night, the chorus. When the night has come, ooh, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand by me, stand by me. So, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Okay, that's it. Thank you,
Wow.
guys.
Wow, Keeper Simon.
We should do acapella soon.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Although it's short, but
Yes,
we time
sir.
is going by, so we have to continue.
Very nice, Simon. Yes, thank you. Short and sweet. And then go, Simon. Continue to share your gifts, right? Anyone else, by the way? Yeah, Simon. Really quick, Simon. You have anything to say about keepers of talents?
Those keepers with talents and those who are learning new talents. It can be anything from learning new magic tricks to learning a new instrument, guitar, piano, maybe even the accordion or the recorder, or just motivational speaking, or just learning a sword and craft or career. Especially those with talents, uh, continue to be determined, because sometimes success does not, when is for example you're learning a new instrument, you cannot know all the notes at once. You cannot do do re mi fa sol la ti do. You cannot always learn that. You start from the basics. From, let's say you're doing trumpet, you got to learn how to blow in a mouthpiece, because if you don't know how to blow the mouthpiece, there's going to be no sound on the trumpet. And then you start off with day by day, learning. Maybe 30 minutes a day is good enough um for you. It really depends, up to you. It's your choice. But as long as you have the determination, the motivation, and also have fun in learning a new talent, whether it be instruments, singing, dancing, anything. Just put the goal and put the determination and the effort, and day by day, month by month, year by year, you will start to see you'll start to learn more new things about your talent, and you'll start to master um, things day by day. So don't rush it. Just take baby steps, and always don't worry. So yeah, that's all I would say for people who want to learn a talent. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Simon. I love your voice, by the way. And go all the keepers,
Thank you.
discovering new talents through Keepers Club. Right? So go all the talented keepers, whether you discovered it or not. We all have a talent and a gift, right? So thank you, Simon, for showing us your talent. We have those every week, every podcast episode. But yes, we hope you enjoyed and see you for episode 29. Wow. And last but not least, let's take a group photo. That's all right. Let's see everyone's beautiful faces. Add everyone to our victory group photos, you can say. Have a memory. And two, always look down memory lane, Hall of Fame for our Keepers Club podcast, right? So we love to see everyone's face. But other than that, let's take a photo. I'll record it. And I always choose the best one. But for real, guys, every time we choose it, it's we're always like in awe, like literally always in awe. Like we'll get everyone smiling, everyone down to take a photo. So let's give it a 3 count, if that's all right. Nice seeing you, Bado. Enjoy, say, Josh. All right, how about 3, 2, and feel free to jump in, everyone. Go. And to keepers, if that's all right. Keepers Club, A4. Kill your brother and sister. No, Keepers Club, right? Oh, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Also, episode, right? New Year's resolution part 2. Go Keeper Ray, Skylar, all the keepers who have joined. And what a nice episode. So, we have an awesome day. Fans, go Keepers.
Good job, everybody. Stay positive.
Keepers. Woo!
Bye, everyone.